Hey guys, and welcome to the 8th video in the Python programming tutorial for beginners. In this video we're going to talk about loops in Python, and I'll be showing you the for loop and the while loop, and also show you some different kind of examples and also how to set them up and how to use them. And we're also going to talk a bit about when we're using a for loop or a while loop. So let's move into the computer. So we're now back in the computer, and in this video we're talking about loops in Python. And the first thing we're going to talk about is the for loop. And the first example here, we have numbers, which is a list containing the elements from 1 to 5. And then we can use a for loop to loop through a list. So in this case, we have for in numbers. So for a number in this list, we loop through it, and then we increment the number by 1, and then we print out the number. So in this case, we loop through the list and we increment. So one will be 2 and so on. So the list will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 when we loop through it. And another example we have down here, we have the same list here, but we can break the for loop if some condition occurs. So in this case, we're doing the same for num in numbers. And then we check if numbers is greater than 3, and if that is true, we will break out the for loop. Or else we'll just increment the number by 1, like in the last example, and print out the number. So in this case, we will increment the first 3, and then we'll skip the last 2 elements, because then number num will be greater than 3. It's also, as we talked about in the string video here on the channel, strings, they work like arrays, and so we can loop through a string as well and use a for loop for that. So for letter in channel, we can print out each letter one by one. So we do it like this, because strings, they work like arrays and we can index them like arrays. And in Python, it's also possible to loop through a range, and we're going to use a lot of ranges in later videos, because then we can see, like for example in this example, we say for I in a range from 0 to 7. So this will be the range, and this is the how much we want to increment with each time. So if we print out this one, we will get the first index here, which is I. It will be 0 first time, and then we're incremented by 2, so it will be 2, and we keep on doing that until the range the upper range will be 7. So in this case, we print out 0 to 6. So we're going to use this range function a lot in later videos. We can also do nested for loops in Python, and just in pretty much all programming languages. So if you have an x numbers here, 1, 2, and we have y numbers as well, 5, 4, 3, we can first have a for loop here running through the x numbers, and then we run through the y numbers in this list. So first we're going nested for loops, they go from the inside to the outside. So first we're going to loop through all of these numbers in this list, and print it out with the x. So in the first case, x will be 1 here. It'll be 1 here, and then we loop through all of these numbers in the y nums, and we print out x and all the y numbers. And then we go back to the for loop, we increment this by 1. So it will then be 2 in this case, and then we loop through all these numbers again. If we have another nested for loop, it will go through all those for loops first, and then go out in the loops, in the nested loops. So if we print this out, we will get 1, 1, 1, and 2, 2, 2. So first, like I said, it will run the whole for loop here first, the nested for loop in here first, with the first number here, and then it will just continue to do it like that. The other loop we're going to talk about in this tutorial is the while loop. And the while loop is that we set up some condition, and then the program just runs until the condition is false. So the first example we have here, we set I is equal to 1, and then we do something while the condition is true. So we set up a condition which is I is less than or equal to 3. So while this condition is true, we print out I and increment I by 1. So we'll print it out 3 times, because then I will be greater than 3, and then we go out the while loop here. We can also run the while loop until some condition occurs, like in the for loop up here. So we have the same condition here again, and then we print out I. But if I is equal to 2, we will break out the for loop. So if we print this out, we will only go on until like we have incremented 2 times, because then I is equal to 2, and we break out the for loop with this command. So we can also use the break function in the while function here, in the while loop here in Python. And we're going to use this a lot in, like, for example, embedded programming, or if we just want a program to run all the time so it doesn't terminate after running through all its code once. So we set up an I here which is equal to 0, and then we say terminated equal to false, and then we just run the while loop while the program is not terminated, and then it will just print out hi, and then we increment I by 1, and if I equals 5, so we will loop through it 5 times, and then we set terminated to true. In other cases, where in later videos when we're going to set terminated to true will be if some interrupt happens, if we press escape on the keyboard or something else. So in this case it's just for demonstration. So we loop through, we stay in this while loop until I has incremented 5 times, and then we terminate the program. So it will print it out 5 times. So this is how we'll use make an infinite loop in Python, and we're going to use that a lot in later videos when we have a program we just want to run all the time until we terminate it, or something else occurs, like an interrupt, something like that. So we're not talked about the 2 different loops in Python, and we're going to use both a lot in later videos, and also just in programming in general. So they're good to know, and they're good to know, like, the basic functions that we're also going to use a lot, and how to set up conditions. So that was it for this video, and thank you for watching, guys, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell notification under the video, and also to just help me grow the channel so there will be more videos in the future. So thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next video, guys. Bye.